Eli's flight was hours away, but Miami's heat held us in its grip. Could love win against time? It was August 2025, and I was 23, a photographer whose soul was tangled in South Beach's neon web, my camera no longer a shield against the truth beating in my chest. My name's Adrian, and Miami had been my salvation, its salty ocean breeze and glitter-soaked nights a rebellion against the small Georgia town where I'd hidden my queerness until I came out at 19. Last night, a broken car had stranded me with Eli, 24, his sun-kissed blonde hair and ocean-deep eyes igniting a love I'd sworn to bury after a breakup that left my heart in shards. But now, dawn was fading into a bruised sky, and Eli's New York life was clawing him back, threatening to snuff out the spark we'd found in Miami's wild heart. We stood on Ocean Drive, the neon signs still flickering like fading stars, palm trees swaying under a sky streaked with purples and pinks, the Atlantic's waves crashing in a rhythm that mocked my racing pulse. The club's reggaeton had softened, its bass a distant echo, but my heart pounded louder, each beat a countdown to Eli's 3 p.m. flight. "You're really going?" I asked, my voice tight, the sand cool under my sneakers, my hands stuffed in my pockets to hide their trembling. Eli's eyes, stormy yet bright, met mine, his half-unbuttoned shirt fluttering in the breeze, revealing a chest bronzed by Miami's sun. "I don't want to," he said, his New York edge softened, raw, his voice carrying the weight of a truth we both felt. "But my job, my apartment, my life, it's all there, Adrian." My chest ached, Georgia's ghosts rising like a tide, the church pews, the whispers of sinner, the ex who'd lied and left me to rebuild alone. I thought of last night, our dance, his confession, the crowd cheering as we kissed under neon lights. Could I trust Eli, or was Miami just a cruel dream, slipping through my fingers? "What about us?" I asked, my voice cracking, the words heavy with fear and hope. Eli stepped closer, his hand brushing mine, his cologne, citrus, sharp, dizzying, mixing with the salt air. "Last night wasn't just a moment," he said, his voice low, urgent. "It was us, Adrian, and I'm not ready to let that go." The neon skyline glowed behind him, South Beach's promise of freedom wrapping us in its embrace, but his phone buzzed, shattering the moment, a voicemail from his boss, voice sharp, demanding his return. My heart sank, the sand shifting beneath me, time slipping like grains through an hourglass. I looked at Eli, his face painted in neon hues, his eyes pleading for a reason to stay. This wasn't just a goodbye. This was a fight for a love we'd barely begun, and Miami's heat was our battleground, urging us to hold on. I thought of Georgia again, the boy I'd been, hiding in shadows, dreaming of a place like this. Miami had given me freedom, but Eli had given me hope, a spark I hadn't felt in years. "Stay," I whispered, barely audible, my voice swallowed by the waves, but Eli heard it, his hand squeezing mine, his eyes burning with something fierce. The club's neon flickered, a reminder of the night that changed us, and I knew, this was our moment to choose, to fight for a love that could outshine our pasts. Ocean Drive hummed with early risers, joggers, street performers, the city waking, but it felt like just us, two souls caught in Miami's glow, standing at the edge of forever. Eli's phone buzzed again, ignored this time, and he stepped closer, his breath warm against my cheek. "Give me a reason," he said, his voice a plea, "and I'll stay." My heart raced, Miami's energy surging through me, and I felt it, this was our chance, our fight, our love, and I wasn't letting it slip away. We walked along South Beach, the sand cool under our feet, the Atlantic's waves crashing with a relentless rhythm that mirrored the chaos in my chest. Eli's hand stayed in mine, his fingers warm, grounding, but his silence was heavy, his New York life a towering wall between us. The neon signs were fading, Miami's dawn painting the sky in soft pinks, but doubt clung to me like humidity. Could we outrun our pasts? "What's waiting for you there?" I asked, my voice sharper than I meant, needing to know what could tear him from this, from us. Eli stopped, the skyline's neon flickering in his stormy eyes, his blonde hair catching the light like a halo. A job I'm good at, he said, his voice low, raw. An apartment, friends, routine. But it's hollow, Adrian. My ex left me feeling like I wasn't enough, and I've been running from that pain ever since. His words sliced through me, echoing my own wounds. I let Georgia spill out, the memories raw, the small town that suffocated me with its judgment, the church sermons that branded my queerness a sin, the ex who'd promised love then vanished, leaving me to piece myself together under a sky that never forgave. I stopped believing in love, I admitted, my voice trembling, the waves swallowing my fear. Every time I trusted, it broke me. Eli's grip tightened, his eyes fierce, burning through the dawn. I believe in us, he said, his voice a vow, steady despite the tremor in it. But I'm scared too, Adrian, scared I'll fail you. The club's distant reggaeton pulsed, a faint reminder of last night, our dance, his confession in the neon glow, the crowd's cheers as we kissed, the moment that felt eternal. But now, doubt crept in, cold and sharp, like a Georgia winter. If you go, I said, my voice breaking, this ends before it can start. Eli's face softened, his hand cupping my cheek, his thumb brushing my skin, warm, real. I don't want it to end, he said, his voice thick with emotion. But I need to know you're all in, too. His words hit like a wave, forcing me to face my own fear. Could I let go of Georgia's scars and trust him? Miami's energy surged around us, seagulls calling, waves crashing, the city waking in a burst of color. I thought of the boy I'd been, hiding in church basements, dreaming of a place where I could be free. South Beach had given me that freedom, and Eli had given me something more, a spark, a chance, a love I wanted to fight for. I'm in, I said, my voice steadier, my hand squeezing his. But you have to choose, Eli, New York or me. His phone buzzed again, his boss's voicemail cutting through, and I saw the conflict in his eyes, the weight of a life he'd built and the love we could build. We stood there, the sand shifting beneath us, Miami's dawn wrapping us in its glow, and I felt the stakes, our pasts, our fears, our futures colliding. Eli's hand stayed in mine, his touch a lifeline, but time was slipping, the sun climbing higher, his flight looming like a guillotine. I looked at him, his face painted in soft light, and knew this wasn't just a conversation. This was us, standing at the edge of forever, deciding if love could be stronger than the shadows we carried. A street performer strummed a guitar nearby, the melody weaving through the waves, and Eli's eyes softened, a smile tugging at his lips. You're my reason, he said, his voice barely audible, but it hit me like thunder, shaking the doubt loose. Miami's heat pulsed, urging us to fight, to choose, to hold on, and I felt it, this was our moment, our chance to rewrite our stories, together. The beach stretched endless before us, Miami's skyline a glittering promise under a rising sun that bathed South Beach in gold. Eli and I sat on the sand, our shoulders brushing, the Atlantic's waves a steady rhythm against the storm in my chest. His phone lay silent now, tossed aside, but its weight lingered, New York, his job, his old life calling him back like a siren. What's keeping you here? He asked, his voice soft, his ocean-deep eyes searching mine, his blonde hair glowing in the light. I thought of Georgia, the loneliness, the fear, the boy who'd hidden in shadows, dreaming of a place where he could be whole. You, I said, my voice steady, surprising myself with its strength. This city, this feeling, it's home, Eli. His breath caught, his hand finding mine, his fingers tracing the lines of my palm like a map to our future, his touch warm, certain. I could stay, he said, his voice trembling but resolute, a vow breaking through the dawn. I could quit my job, start over, build something real with you. My heart soared, but doubt flickered, could we outrun our scars, build something that lasted? I told him my dream, a cafe called Neon Tide, where my photos would capture South Beach's soul, his graphic designs branding it with vibrant pinks and blues, a haven for queer stories, for us. We'd make it ours, I said, half laughing, the idea crystallizing in the sunlight. Eli's grin lit up, brighter than the neon signs fading behind us, his eyes sparkling with possibility. "I'm in," he said, his voice firm, "but only if you trust me, Adrian." The waves crashed, Miami's energy wrapping us in its embrace, and I felt it, a shift, my walls crumbling, Georgia's ghosts fading in the light. I thought of my ex, the pain he'd left, but Eli wasn't him, his touch, his words, his heart were different, real. "I trust you," I said, my voice a vow, and we kissed, soft and sure, the sunrise painting us in gold, the sand warm beneath us, South Beach cheering us on. A seagull soared overhead, its cry blending with the waves, and I saw our future, neon tide, our cafe, our love, a life woven in Miami's glow. Eli's hand stayed in mine, his fingers threading through, grounding me in the moment. "We'll make it," he said, his voice steady, a promise we both believed. This wasn't just a decision. This was us, choosing love, choosing Miami, choosing a future we'd fight for, together, against any storm. The city hummed, waking in a burst of life, joggers, vendors, the ocean's endless song, and I felt lighter, freer, the boy from Georgia finally home. Eli's eyes held mine, his smile a spark that lit my world, and I knew, this was our beginning, our forever, or as close as we could get in a world still learning to love us. The sun climbed higher, South Beach bursting into life, neon signs fading into daylight, palm trees swaying, the Atlantic sparkling like a jewel under a cloudless sky. Eli and I walked back to Ocean Drive, our hands linked, laughter bubbling as we planned Neon Tide, our dream cafe. "Your photos, my logos," Eli said, his grin wide, his blonde hair catching the sunlight like a crown. "We'll make it South Beach's heart, a place for everyone." My heart felt light, Georgia's weight lifting with every step, but a small ache lingered, trust was new, fragile, and our pasts were still there, softer but present, like shadows at noon. We stopped at a bustling cafe, its patio alive with Miami's morning crowd, drag queens sipping iced coffee, couples sharing mango smoothies, tourists snapping selfies against the ocean's glow. Eli pulled out his phone, typing a resignation email to his boss, his fingers steady, his eyes meeting mine with a spark of defiance. "Sent," he said, tossing the phone aside, his grin daring the world to stop us. I laughed, my camera clicking as I snapped his face, capturing the moment we chose us, the sunlight framing him like a painting. My phone buzzed, a text from my Georgia friend, "You're really staying there?" I typed back, "Yeah, I'm home," my fingers trembling with the truth of it. South Beach glowed under a midday sun, its neon heart beating stronger than ever, a testament to the love we'd fought for and won. Eli and I stood on the boardwalk, the Atlantic stretching endless before us, Miami's skyline a canvas of dreams we were ready to paint with our future. We sketched Neon Tide on a napkin, my photos lining the walls, capturing drag queens, dancers, South Beach's soul, Eli's designs in vibrant pinks, blues, and golds, branding our cafe as a queer haven, a place where stories like ours could live. "We'll open by spring," Eli said, his blonde hair glowing, his smile brighter than the neon signs that had sparked our love. My heart was full, but a quiet question lingered, soft as the ocean breeze. Could any love truly outlast the world's shadows, or was this enough? Georgia was behind me, its judgments fading like a distant storm, but I'd never forget the boy who hid in church basements, dreaming of a place like Miami. Eli's New York was gone too, his ex's betrayal a scar softened by time, but we'd carry our pasts, lighter now, woven into the strength of who we'd become. We walked hand in hand, the boardwalk alive with South Beach's pulse, street performers juggling, couples kissing, the ocean's roar a chorus of hope. Eli's rainbow bracelet caught the light, matching mine, a symbol of the vow we'd made to each other, to this city, to love. "We're enough," he said, his voice steady, his eyes holding mine, and I believed him, my heart settling into the truth. South Beach glowed under a midday sun, its neon heart beating stronger than ever, a testament to the love we'd fought for and won. Eli and I stood on the boardwalk, the Atlantic stretching endless before us, Miami's skyline a canvas of dreams we were ready to paint with our future. We sketched Neon Tide on a napkin, my photos lining the walls, capturing drag queens, dancers, South Beach's soul, Eli's designs in vibrant pinks, blues, and golds, branding our cafe as a queer haven, a place where stories like ours could live. "We'll open by spring," Eli said, his blonde hair glowing, his smile brighter than the neon signs that had sparked our love. My heart was full, but a quiet question lingered, soft as the ocean breeze. Could any love truly outlast the world's shadows, or was this enough? Georgia was behind me, its judgments fading like a distant storm, but I'd never forget the boy who hid in church basements, dreaming of a place like Miami. Eli's New York was gone too, his ex's betrayal a scar softened by time, but we'd carry our pasts, lighter now, woven into the strength of who we'd become. We walked hand in hand, the boardwalk alive with South Beach's pulse, street performers juggling, couples kissing, the ocean's roar a chorus of hope. Eli's rainbow bracelet caught the light, matching mine, a symbol of the vow we'd made to each other, to this city, to love. "We're enough," he said, his voice steady, his eyes holding mine, and I believed him, my heart settling into the truth. We stopped at the water's edge, the waves lapping at our feet, Miami's heat wrapping us in its embrace. I thought of last night, the broken car, the dance, the kiss that changed everything. "We made it," I said, my voice thick, my camera hanging forgotten at my side. Eli pulled me close, his lips brushing mine, soft, sure, the ocean cheering us on. "We're just starting," he said, his grin teasing, his eyes sparkling with the promise of spring, of neon tide, of us. The city hummed, its neon fading into daylight, but its energy lived in us, a spark that would burn through any storm. My name is Adrian, and this is our story, a gay love that rose from a Miami night, fought through doubt and distance, and found its home in South Beach's vibrant glow. We'd build Neon Tide, a cafe for dreamers, for lovers, for us, but the question lingered, what makes a love last forever? Was it the neon, the waves, the promises we kept, or something deeper, something only we could name? I looked at Eli, his hand in mine, and knew we'd find the answer, one sunrise at a time, together. If this story set your heart ablaze, hit like, share with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more queer stories. Comment, what's your dream love story? Help us hit 1,000 subscribers, your support keeps these stories alive. Chase your glow, and tell us, what's next for Adrian and Eli? Should they face new challenges, or is their love enough? The sun climbed higher, South Beach alive with possibility, and we walked on, our bracelets glinting, our hearts synced with Miami's rhythm. This was our victory, our love, our forever, or as close as we could get in a world still learning to love us. Miami had given us a spark, and now we'd build a fire, a life, a legacy, together, in its neon embrace.